Today we will discuss and explore the second initiation, which is the inner light. For anyone who has already gone through this process, through this initiation and opening of their inner light consciousness, I still see benefits for you to integrate more of that higher light into your lower densities, you could say, into your personality. And so there's always this integration process. And the integration process allows it to be effortless. So at first, when we open and realize that we are this light being, which is beyond this physical body, which is beyond our emotions, which is beyond our thoughts. Well, actually, then it is not so much of our thoughts and our emotions and our body, because we realize that there is actually space in between. And that space, it continues to expand. So the more you create your inner space, inner, let's say, silence or inner gaps, and the more the thoughts, the emotions become in a way further from you. And that gives you more strength, so to speak. It gives you more strength to be able to observe what is in your present moment. And as you know already, this process continues through many initiations. So it is not that you open your light and that's that. Of course, you will focus on higher initiation so that you can know yourself ever more clearly and ever more closer to you. But also know that through the energetics, it is quite a complex system. So it's still working, it's still integrating. And the way it's integrated is through your life experiences. So your life experiences are your kind of your way how you can integrate more and more of that light within you at any moment. So we can discuss a bit more about what this inner light means, even for anyone who this might be a new topic, or anyone who is starting to experience some people call it some weird situations or strange situations. It is only strange because it's not yet familiar. And until that becomes more familiar, it becomes very easy to recognize, to see that there is nothing strange in any experiences you're having, because this affects also many people. And they sometimes, I hear people saying like, oh, there can be something wrong with me having these very strange experiences. So this message goes for everyone out there who is maybe getting ready to open inner light, or who is in the beginning just only familiarizing now. In any level, I find there is no limitation. It's a continuous integration into our being here and now. And that's the beauty of it, because we never get bored. There is always so much more to explore and so much more to integrate and so much more to become. And becoming is actually so more and more unlimited, more and more harmonious, more and more light, and more loving. So it can only get better and better in a way, because this process of realizing who we are and going through this physical ascension that we are going through right now, it's quite an extraordinary experience that we've been actually waiting for a few good 1,000 years to come to this alignment and this timeline right now. So I understand many people are going through a lot of purging and a lot of disidentification from the ego, which will, sometimes give you this feeling of you're losing everything, or you're feeling that you're even like dying, or you feel that you don't belong here, that there's something happening. And it's good to know, it's good to remind yourself that this is all part of the evolution of humanity. It's all part of the ascension, which is all to do with opening your higher consciousness. And it's a beautiful, beautiful unfoldment. Very beautiful. So a few more words how we can give meaning to inner light is here you might start experiencing this like transcendence of the linear mind. So the linear mind is this like rigid belief or rigid way of thinking, which is very much connected with your past and with your future, where you're going. So who you are according to your memories, your experiences and beliefs, and projecting that into some imaginary future. Yeah, or how we imagine our future to be. So that is what we call linear mind, which is very narrow. When you think of it, it's very narrow from past to future, and it keeps jumping back and forth, and it's quite limiting. So with inner light, this transcendence starts occurring, beyond the linear thinking, because there is more space in between yourself and thoughts. Yes, yourself and emotions. And that space continues to expand. That's the beauty of it. The space continues to expand. And when the space expands, most of the time, people say that they're feeling more a sense of peace or even calmness. These are usually the indications, yes, when this inner light starts coming through, they start to feel more peace and calmness. Also, intuition starts getting more clear. So also here, clearer and louder, so to speak. And the intuition, some people experience this as a sense in the body, or else maybe you heard of like a gut feeling. Some people experience this as a voice, like there is an inner voice. And some people simply like just knows. They just know it. Yes, and the intuition gets more clearer and louder, and the more the space expands, and yeah, more clarity, basically. What also happens here is the five senses become more vivid. So many times people also would say that, yeah, my vision like changed. I can see the colors more bright now. I can taste even the food. And there's more taste. Even the sense and the touch becomes more sensitive. And that is also a very clear indication of this inner light awakening. So noticing the five senses, they become clearer and more alive. Also, something really beautiful that occurs are these synchronicities. Life starts synchronizing together. For example, meeting, the right people at the right time in your life, going somewhere and happening to just meet someone you don't know and you had a really amazing connection. And yeah, there's like this synchronous a field that you start tapping into, meaning that like everything is coming to alignment. Because, of course, your inner light is in alignment with your higher self and with your love and with your presence and soul and awareness. So, your inner light is the anchor to all your higher selves. And that is a beautiful beginning of these synchronous circumstances and events that start occurring in your life. So when you start to see those, it's an indication. And also, something really nice to mention is the power of intention. Because maybe in the previous initiation or even prior to that, the intention is not so powerful because it could be just like just a thought maybe, but in inner light, that intention is kind of more in your body, so to speak. You have the power to really feel your intentions, and that multiplies its strength by like 1,000 times. So your, let's say, loudspeaker, it's kind of like really boosting the volume up. So the intention becomes much stronger, and then you start to see that you can create your own reality just by your intention alone. Actually, many times we underestimate intention, but I come to see that intention is so powerful because it sets the space, it sets the focus of where you're focusing your attention upon, and that creates even more power because then the energy will flow towards your focus and attention, your intention. So that's how then when you really step into your inner light, you start to see that life is working for you. Everything starts helping you out because you are now in alignment with yourself. And that's the beauty of it, because life starts supporting you. Because of your vibration, this really affects a lot. And it is also kind of a first awakening of experiencing inner freedom here as well, because inner light gives a lot of lightness. So from the previous initiation or even prior to that, we tend to hold a lot of emotions, a lot of heaviness, a lot of densities, heavy energies and emotions which drag and pull us down. But once we shift a certain level within us, then life starts working in favor of us. So anything that happens, any events that happen in your life, they are all, first of all, in resonance with you. Otherwise, they will not happen, they will not occur. So everything, every experience, every event is orchestrated in such a divine way that whether in your own seeing whether it's something challenging or not challenging, they are both sides of the coin, both polarities are there to support your growth, are there to support your evolution and your ascension process. So when you see it through this perception, you realize that nothing is really against you here. Nothing is really against you, but rather really seeing the possibilities and opportunities for your growth. So in essence, these are a few words to kind of describe what it means and how it may look like, whether for yourself or whether even people around you, your families, your friends. And it's really great to have that clarity and knowing that nothing is actually wrong, and it's all part of this evolution. And of course, some, this can take a certain time between one person and another. And so, this really depends on the readiness of the person, of the individual, the readiness and the maturity. So there's really not there's no one way. Some people I meet in private meetings, if they tend to be in a way stuck for a while, then when we meet, there are huge openings. There are just very huge openings, and this process goes by very fast. There are other people that they haven't been stuck anywhere. They're just going through their life situations. It might seem maybe a bit slower, but it's usually more smoother when it's slower. So that too has also a beauty and value in that too. And it doesn't have to be one way or the other. Know that everyone is totally different according to where they're at, right? So and also in inner light, usually a person would let's say open to the third initiation quite quickly, because from the second initiation to the third, it's just a matter of just short period of time, and they kind of really come together. And so certain initiations, they might take a bit of a longer time, so to speak, and it's totally fine. You do not need to push yourself or rush yourself into anything. The most important of all is to be present here and now and making peace with all that is now within you. That is the most important of all. And then when you know that, then everybody has his own ways. But then there's like a general way of seeing that from the second and third initiation, a person could take, let's say, up to 1 year. 1 year of integrating inner light and higher self. Yes, there is a general timing, you could say, where, of course, there are exceptions where people can jump right in or have big openings, but also, some people can even take many more years. For example, if they're not maybe as dedicated, or maybe some things in life came along and totally pull them into the life experiences and they forgotten about themselves. And some people can take longer time than that usually. But generally speaking, with the people that I am aware of through these processes, it generally takes a few months up to 1 year to work through the inner light and the higher self. And it is a beautiful exploration, you could say, because every initiation gives you the opportunity to know yourself. It is like you access spaces and places within you that you've never encountered before. So it's a beautiful learning, but also it also has this reclaiming back of your power. So that is also part of it too, and realizing that higher self beyond the body and beyond the emotions, beyond the thoughts. Thus, as a result, this gives you already much more freedom. If you have this analogy of envisioning a house which has like a very small 1-bedroom house, you already expand yourself to a 5-bedroom house. There's already much more space and freedom in that. And that keeps expanding and growing.